Hello, welcome to another episode of Let's Play War Thunder. In this particular episode, I wanted to show off what a well-timed deflection shot can do for you. As always, I'll go ahead and fast forward to the action here in just a minute. But I wanted to show you what not to do when taking off, and that's what this biplane did. He was normally going straight up, but then he decided to push back down for unexplained reasons. Maybe he was flying with the mouse or something, I'm not sure. But he pushed down right as I was coming up underneath him, and I had to dodge out of the way. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the fighting. One of our bombers had asked for an escort over to Alpha, so I went ahead and obliged. But when I got over to Alpha, I saw no enemy fighters heading in this direction, or at least I couldn't see any. I saw a bunch of fighters heading over towards Charlie, so I went over to help. As I was coming in, I noticed this P-39 and a couple other black dots, which you can see around him, but I didn't know what they were. But they were certainly no good. I wasn't quite gonna commit until I knew what the other ones were, and when I saw that this other one was a Spitfire and it turned into me, I needed to climb and get altitude as fast as possible to get out of the Spitfire's range. I didn't want to do a head-on pass because I usually lose those. Now I think the Spitfire was watching me, but I'm not sure, because by the time I got into actual gunning range, he turned away. Not wanting to lose all my energy in turning with a Spitfire, I continued to move on and wait for another pass. Unfortunately though, this storm cloud provided the Spitfire with enough cover for him to get away from me. That, coupled with the turbulence from the storm, which you see from the camera shaking, made it difficult to fly in this area. Now I could have continued to chase him down out of the clouds like that, but I didn't want to lose all of my energy and altitude advantage, so I decided to go hunt for another target instead of following that Spitfire to the deck. Saw another Spitfire engaged over by Alpha, and I thought I'd go help out, and decided to head right over there. Now I noticed my speed was about 700 kilometers by the time I was heading over there. I wanted to slow down because I wasn't sure if I was going to rip my wings off or not. And I'm not sure how I ended up going 700, but I did get up to that speed, and it was frightening. When I noticed though that the Spitfire had two guys on his 6 and he wasn't chasing anybody, I realized that he wasn't really a threat at the moment. And I had seen that P-39 try to return to base. So I wanted to try to pick him off before he made it there. He would both not be expecting me to be there and be easy prey. Though I didn't really know that he was a P-39 just yet. I just knew that there was a dot headed back to base. Unfortunately for the P-39 though, as you'll see here in just a minute, he said and then paused. He turned out to not be a very good pilot and crashed in the trees. I went back and looked at the replay a little bit later from his perspective and saw that his plane didn't even have a single bullet hole in it, and that he had just timed his landing incorrectly and powered down way too early. Now I thought that this P-39 had seen me, not only from the flak going all over the place, but the fact that he was coming in from my 6. But he was actually clueless, he didn't know I was there. Now, I could have taken him out right there, but I was waiting to line up for the perfect shot and only got a couple little plinks on him. I followed him for a couple turns, but I didn't want to follow him for a lot of slow turns around that air base and that flak. So I extended out, got some altitude. I'm flying through enemy AA flak. I don't know if this is helping me or not, but I'm trying not to be a stationary, one direction, slow moving target. And as it turns out, I only got hit maybe once or twice from the shrapnel. I'm going to show you this deflection shot in real time, and then I'll show it to you again in slow motion. And that's all she wrote for him. And I'll go ahead and show it to you again here in slow motion. Alright, well that's been about it for this particular episode. I hope that you've enjoyed. The rest of the mission was pretty much over before I could get back into the fight. I did see one other P-26, but since that's the American Tier 0 fighter craft, I didn't want to go shoot it down with my Tier 7 fighter plane. I hope that you've enjoyed the video again, and I'll see you guys next time.